Hello, second grade, and welcome to Unit 2, Week 3. Let's go over your vocabulary words first. The first word is the word buried. So when something is buried, it's covered up or it's hidden. So think about when a dog buries a bone. They dig a hole, they drop it inside, and then they cover that back up. So now that bone is covered up and it's hidden. Your next word is the word journey. A journey is a trip. So it's just a different word or a synonym for the word trip. They took a journey to a different country. We went on a journey to the forest. All of these are different ways that you can use the word journey. If a person peeks, they take a quick look. So Tom peeks into the cupboard. So think about when you just take a real quick look at something. So maybe you just kind of peeked into the classroom. So you popped your head in real quick and then left again. If a person spies something, that person watches for something and then they see it. So if you're spying for something, you're trying to see something specific. You're looking for something. You're not just looking around at everything that's there. You're looking for something specific and you find it. So a good example sentence is, during hide and seek, Jan spies the hiders. So she's looking around for the hiders and then she finds them. If you escape something, that means you get out of it or you get away from it. The cat could escape through a hole in the fence, or the dragon could not escape from its cave. So escape means to leave something, to get out of something, or to get away from it. Your next word is the word restless. Now, if you can't stay still or quiet, then you are restless. That means you're moving around, you're fidgeting, you're having a hard time being calm. Those are the meanings of the word restless. Your next word is habitat. Now, a habitat is a place where an animal or a plant lives or grows. This is where they spend most of their life, in their habitat. So a frog lives in a pond habitat. They live by water. A bear lives in a forest or wooded habitat. An alligator lives in a lake habitat. And your last word is the word nature. Nature is all the things that are outdoors that are not made by people. So there are things that were already there, not things that people built. So you can say, we took a walk in the woods to look at nature. So you're looking at the trees and the animals and the mountains and the grass and all the things that are out there that were there, that were already there. They're not things that people put there. Let's take a look at your spelling words for this week. Now, your spelling words for this week focus on the soft C and the soft G sound. Now, the letters C and G can make either a hard sound or a soft sound, and this week we're only going to focus on the soft sound. So a soft C sounds like the letter S, and a soft G sounds like the letter J. Now, you know that your word is going to, or your letter is going to make a soft sound if it has an E, I, or Y that comes after it, and we're going to see a few words. So if you have the word gym that has a Y after it, makes a J sound like a J, or cider has an I after it, so that makes it sound like an S. Your spelling words this week are the words trace, place, badge, cage, space, ice, bulge, range, barge, mice, mule, huge, out, wash, and saw. So let's hop into our grammar notes for this week. Okay, next we're going to talk about nouns. We're going to review common and proper nouns, and we're going to introduce a new kind called collective nouns. Now, we know that a common noun is a noun that names any person, place, or thing. So a cat, a dog, a house, a tree, a lamp, a girl, a boy, all of these things can be any noun. It's not telling us specifically which one. So it's not telling me the name of the boy or the girl. It's not telling me what kind of shoe it is. It's not telling me the name of the park or the building. Common nouns can be anything. Now, a proper noun names the specific person, place, or thing. Proper nouns begin with a capital letter because they name something specific. And if there's more than one word in the proper noun, then the first letter of every important word is given a capital letter. And I'm going to go over some examples with you. So we're going to capitalize the names of the week, the names of the days of the week, the names of months and holidays, any important words that are in a title of a publication, so like a book or a newspaper or an article, names of different languages, names of races and nationalities, and historical events. Also the names of products and any geographical locations, so the names of, countries and cities. Those are things that will also be capitalized. Now, I did put a few examples for each one on how to do that, and you can see those right there on the screen. So for the days, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, obviously. All of those begin with a capital letter. The first letter in the name of all of the months is capital. Holidays like Memorial Day, Eid al-Adha, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, all of those begin with capital letters. The important words in a title of a book, like the mouse and the motorcycle, these two words that are in between that are not important words, the and the, we don't capitalize. The only time we would capitalize those is like you're seeing right here at the beginning, when they're the first word in the title. Or if you look at the book Where the Wild Things Are, again, you'll see the important words are capitalized. Any other words are not capitalized. The names of different languages, races, nationalities, historical events like the Civil War, names of products like Nike shoes, geographic locations like Lake Tahoe or Niagara Falls. All of those are proper nouns because they tell us about a specific person, place, or thing. Now, the next kind that we're going to talk about are called collective nouns. Collective nouns are words that describe a group. So some common collective nouns you've heard of are like the word family. A family is a group of related people. A herd is like a group of land animals like sheep or buffalo. A flock is a group of different kinds of birds. A litter is a group of baby animals like puppies or kittens. An army is a group of soldiers. A band is a group of musicians. A swarm is a group of flying insects like bees. So collective nouns are nouns that name a group of nouns, and you've already used a lot of them. If we say a class, if we talk about the second grade class, we know that we're talking about all the students in second grade. Or if I talk about the fifth grade class, I'm talking about all the students in fifth grade. Next, we're going to talk about prefixes and suffixes. Now, prefixes and suffixes are both word parts that are added on to a word. They come from the word affix, and affix means to stick or to attach to something. So what you're doing is you're going to stick or you're going to attach these parts to change the meaning of that root word or that base word that you're working with. So some of the most common prefixes and ones that you've used before are the prefix re, un, and dis. Now, when you're looking at these, you can see that there's a little dash that comes after the prefix. That means this is stuck on the beginning and it's attached to the rest of the word. So the prefix re means again. So if I ask you to rewrite something, I'm asking you to write it again. If your mom asks you to rewash something, she's asking you to wash it again. If you reread a story, that means you're reading it again. The next prefix is un, and un means not. So if you are unhappy, that means you're not happy. If something is unclean, that means it's not clean. If you feel like something is unfair, that means it's not fair. And the last prefix we're going to talk about today is dis. Dis means the opposite of something. Like if you dislike something, it's the opposite of liking it, you hate it. If something disappears, that means it's not appearing anymore. It's completely gone. Or if you are in disbelief, you can't believe what you're seeing or hearing. So re means again, un means not, and dis means the opposite of something. Now suffixes come at the end of a word, and they have a similar job. They change up the meaning of the word that you're working with. Now you can see that the dash is on the opposite side. The dash is before the word, before the suffix. So that means we're going to have the word first, and then the suffix is attached to the end of it. So the two suffixes that we're going to focus on today are full and ly. So F-U-L for full and L-Y for ly. Full means full of something, like somebody is beautiful, or they're very careful, or we watched the ocean waves and they were so peaceful. And the suffix ly means the way something is being done. So it's done in that certain way. So if something is done carefully, it's done in a careful way. If somebody is whispering quietly, they're whispering in a quiet way. If somebody is dancing happily, they're dancing in a happy way. So these are our prefixes and suffixes that we're going to focus on for now. The last part that we're going to talk about for our grammar notes is abbreviations for proper nouns. So when we abbreviate something, we're making it shorter. We're taking a really long word and we're squishing it down into just a couple letters that stand for that word so that we don't always have to write out the whole thing. So some proper nouns that we abbreviate are names of the days of the week, the months of the year, and different holidays. The names of each day or month or holiday always begin with a capital letter. So the abbreviations will also begin with a capital letter. And I just put some abbreviations for days and months below. So you can see Sunday, just S-U-N with a period after it. There's always a period at the end of an abbreviation. Monday is M-O-N with a period at the end of it. Same with Tuesday. So we've got about the first 3 letters. Sometimes we'll do the first 4 letters, and there's always a period at the end. And that period lets you know that this is an abbreviation. This is not the end of a sentence. Okay, second grade, let's hop into our books and go through our stories. So we're going to open up both of our books. And we're going to go to our Unit 2, Week 3 story. So this focuses on animal habitats, and our story, our longer story is called Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out. And that's where we're going to start today.
Genre: narrative nonfiction. Turtle, Turtle, Watch Out by April Pulley Sayer. Illustrated by Annie Patterson. Late one night on a beach in Florida, a baby turtle's story begins. It could be a short story, or no story at all, if not for helping hands. Turtle is only an egg now. Her mother's flippers cover her with sand. Hungry raccoons watch, and when Mother Turtle crawls back to see, furry feet scurry, noses sniff, paws dig. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! Young hands holding a flashlight scare the bandits away. They place wire mesh around the turtle nest to protect the buried eggs. Morning comes. So does a car. It speeds toward the eggs. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! The car stops. Hands have put up a painted sign. No driving on the beach, the sign says. The car leaves. The turtle nest is safe and undisturbed. Turtle sees none of this inside her egg. 2 months later, Turtle begins to tear her leathery eggshell. She rips it open with a special tooth. She rocks and wiggles to escape. Then she rests, still half in her shell. Her yolk sac, attached to the bottom of her shell, shrinks as her body absorbs its energy. A day later, nudging and pushing, she and the other hatchlings dig toward the surface. They scramble, then rest, scramble, then rest. Their upward journey takes 3 whole days. Finally, on a moonlit August night, Turtle peeks out of the sand. Other hatchlings below her are pushing her upward. All around her, the hatchlings dig out. Pushing against the sand, Turtle crawls across the beach. Go to the light. That's all Turtle knows. At night, the brightest light should be the horizon over the sea. Tonight, it is not. Turtle crawls toward the wrong light, shining from across the street. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! Small hands switch off the light. Turtle turns and crawls the other way. She scurries toward the ocean waves. Step by step, she journeys down the beach. Animals gather. Night herons, cats, and raccoons. They are hungry and are here to eat the hatchlings. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! Quickly, Turtle scoots to the water. Whoosh! Water picks her up and carries her seaward, then pushes her back toward the beach. Whoosh! Waves tumble her tiny body, then carry her to sea again. She pushes her flippers. She can swim. She swims past hungry fish. Currents catch her and carry her far from shore. For months, she drifts in patches of seaweed. She dines on tiny plants and animals. She grows. Currents carry her thousands of miles, circling an ocean wide, until one day she leaves the floating sargassum, a mass of algae. She begins to swim, past islands, past sailfish, past humpback whales. She reaches a coral reef, where she spies a tasty jellyfish. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! Splash! Quick hands dip down, grabbing the plastic bag. It looks like a jellyfish, but it is not. It could choke a turtle or clog its belly. Turtle swims onward. She looks for other food. As she grows, her jaws crack open conches, crabs, and clams. For 20 years, this is her turtle life, until one day she feels restless. It is time for her to travel far and fast. She flaps her flippers like underwater wings. She swims and swims, past ships sailing and sunken. 3 sharks see her. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! The sharks pursue her. No hands can help her now. She swims faster and faster, and finally escapes. But she does not see a shrimper's nets rushing toward her. Turtle, Turtle, watch out! In an instant, she is swept into a net. It drags her down, down. She needs to surface to breathe. The boat pulls, tumbling her to the back of the net. She is almost out of air when she slips through an escape hatch. She is free. Months before, weathered hands had sewn that hatch onto the net, just so sea turtles could escape. Shaken but safe, Turtle swims on. She meets a male turtle, and they mate. Later, under a summer moon, Turtle swims toward the breaking waves. Thud! Her heavy body hits the hard shore. It is the same beach where she hatched. But now things are different. Now she is a mother turtle, about to lay her eggs. One day those eggs will hatch. The tiny turtles will begin their journeys, scrambling across the sand. And some will make it, with a little luck, and fast-moving flippers, and the help of many hands.
Okay, so that wraps up our first story. We're going to hop into our short story that also uses our same vocabulary words, and this one is an expository text called At Home in the River.
Genre: expository text. Compare texts. Read about plants and animals at home in the river. Many animals call the Cuyahoga River home. It is a freshwater habitat. Ocean water has salt, but the river does not. The Cuyahoga gives many animals shelter and food. Food from the river. A family of wood ducks floats by. The mother leads her ducklings along the riverbank. They eat plants that grow in the water. The plants are called duckweed. Cuyahoga River habitat. Animal. Food. Animal. Wood duck. Food. Duckweed, seeds, fruit. Animal. Spotted turtle. Food. Snails, worms, spiders. Animal. Raccoon. Food. Fish, frogs, eggs, mice, insects. Wood duck. A spotted turtle's journey. Spotted turtles sun themselves on a floating log. They have dots on their heads and shells. One turtle leaves the river to lay eggs. On the riverbank, she stops to eat snails and worms. When she finds a place, she digs a hole with her back legs. She covers her eggs with dirt to hide them from other animals. A raccoon sleeps in a hole in the tree. It would enjoy this meal. After 2 months, the baby turtles hatch. They journey to the riverbank. Every living thing is important in nature. Each living thing needs and helps another. Each plant and animal lives and then begins a new cycle. Life in the river keeps going. Spotted turtle. Raccoon.
Okay, now let's go into your reading and writing workshop book and take a look at our stories here. Now again, we're still in Unit 2, Week 3. So we're going to go to Unit 2, go to our Week 3 story, and we're going to see that our story is called A Prairie Guard Dog.
Genre: narrative nonfiction. A prairie guard dog. Essential question: what are features of different animal habitats? Read to learn about the place a prairie dog calls home. I am on a journey. My trip is to a prairie. It is in the outdoor world called nature. Many animals live in a prairie habitat. This place has what prairie dogs need to survive. A prairie has a lot of grasses, but few trees. Without places to hide, a prairie can be dangerous for some animals. Good morning. It is early in the morning. First, I see a prairie dog. I name him Pete. He peeks his head out of his burrow underground. He looks around. Then Pete calls loudly to his family. Yip! He lets them know it is safe to come out. Soon 4 prairie dogs come out. Prairie dogs build underground burrows to keep themselves safe from predators. Pete is the guard, and he is restless. He cannot rest because he is always looking around for danger. This allows the other prairie dogs to safely munch on grasses and seeds. They can also groom each other or work on their burrow. Yap, yap! Prairie dogs can make 11 different sounds to communicate with each other. A scare. Oh no! Pete spies a large badger. When he sees it, he gives a loud bark. Yap, yap! His family recognizes the warning. Some hide in tall grasses, and some jump into the burrow. The badger runs at Pete, but the watchful guard is able to escape into the burrow. I am glad he is able to get away from danger. After a few minutes, Pete peeks his head out again, and he is back on the job. Badgers live on prairies and hunt prairie dogs. Break time. The sun gets higher, and it is hot now. The prairie dogs slip into their deep burrow where it is cooler. Even Pete goes in. Tunnels like hallways lead to different areas. There is a sleeping room. There is a room used like a bathroom. The prairie dogs cover up roots and seeds in one room. Later, they eat the buried food there. Second shift. I keep watching the burrow. Finally, the sun begins to set and a different prairie dog peeks its head out. I name him Gary. Pete must be off duty. Yip, Gary calls. The other prairie dogs come back out. The prairie dogs eat and play until the moon is high in the sky. Then they go to sleep in their burrows. I wonder if Pete will be back on duty. I will see in the morning. Prairie dog facts. Size: 12 to 15 inches tall. Weight: 2 to 4 pounds. Habitat: short and medium grass desert prairies. Food: roots, seeds, leaves of plants, grasses. Shelter: underground burrows with many rooms. Predators: coyotes, bobcats, badgers, foxes, weasels.
All right, we're going to get into our comprehension strategy and skill for the week. Now, our comprehension strategy is, again, making predictions. So when we make a prediction, we're making a guess based on text evidence. So we're making a guess based on the information that the author has already given us in the story. Now, our comprehension skill focuses on our main topic and our key details. So our main topic is what our passage or our reading is about. And the key details are important information that the author gives us about the main topic.
Make predictions. Use what you already know and what you read in the section to help you predict what you will learn about. As you read, you can confirm or revise your predictions. Find text evidence. As I read page 137 of A Prairie Guard Dog, I predicted that the badger will chase the prairie dog. I read on to see if my prediction was correct. A scare. Oh no! Pete spies a large badger. When he sees it, he gives a loud bark. Yap, yap! His family recognizes the warning. Some hide in tall grasses, and some jump into the burrow. The badger runs at Pete, but the watchful guard is able to escape into the burrow. I am glad he is able to get away from danger. On page 137, I read that the badger ran at Pete. My prediction was correct. Main topic and key details. The main topic is what the selection is about. Key details give information about the main topic. Find text evidence. As I read A Prairie Guard Dog, I learn a lot about prairie dogs. This must be the main topic. On page 135, I learn a key detail about prairie dogs. Graphic organizer. Main topic: prairie dogs. Key detail: a prairie dog acts as a guard.
Okay, next we're going to get into our genre, which is the kind of writing that we're reading, which is an informational text, and that's a narrative nonfiction. Now, a narrative is a story that you are telling, and nonfiction means it's a real story. So it's something that you're telling that happened to you in real life. That's going to be our genre. And our vocab strategy for this week focuses on suffixes. Now, we talked about these in our notes. We're going to touch on them a little bit more in just a moment on these two pages.
Narrative nonfiction. A prairie guard dog is narrative nonfiction. A narrative nonfiction tells about living things, people, or events, is told by a narrator, and follows a sequence. Find text evidence. I can use what I read to tell that a prairie guard dog is a narrative nonfiction. A narrator tells the story about what real prairie dogs do. Text features. Headings. Headings tell what a section of text is mostly about. Bold print. These words are important to understanding the text. Suffixes. A suffix is a word part or syllable added to the end of a word. You can separate the root word from a suffix, such as full or lee, to figure out what the word means. Find text evidence. I'm not sure what the word loudly means. The root word is loud, which means full of noise. The suffix is lee, which means in a certain way. I think the word loudly means in a noisy way. Then Pete calls loudly to his family. Yip! Your turn. Use suffixes to figure out the meanings of these words in A Prairie Guard Dog. Safely, page 136. Watchful, page 137. Finally, page 139.
Okay, that takes us to the end of our notes for this week. I hope you have an amazing week. If you have any questions, remember to hop into our Zoom session. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.